It is one of the funniest casts of the season as Tina Fey, Jane Fonda, and Jason Bateman all team up for the comedy This Is Where I Leave You. Please don't leave. Jim Ferguson sat down with all three of them to give us the inside scoop of the movie.
Our Hollywood happening today goes backstage with the comedy This Is Where I Leave You. When their father passes away, four grown siblings who are bruised by their adult lives are forced to return to their childhood home and live together for a week, along with their oversharing mother, played by Jane Fonda. Two of her children, Wendy and Judd, are played by Tina Fey and Jason Bateman.
3 months ago, I had a great job and a nice apartment, and I was in love with my wife.
When? No.
How long?
A year.
The first time. On our sides.
Hello.
I imagine by now you are well into the excessive facial hair phase of your depression.
It's not a good time, Wendy.
Dad's dead.
What? Hi, sis. Mommy. What's different about her?
The boobs. She had a little touch-up.
Your father had one final request, and we are going to honor it. He just wanted his kids under one roof. So for the next 7 days, you are all grounded.
Hey. What? Oh, no, we're just sitting in an awkward silence.
Would you both agree with me that This Is Where I Leave You is somewhat of a dark comedy, but as an audience member and a critic, I watched it and thought, my God, this is my family.
You did.
My question is, do you agree many people will relate to this story?
Well, let's hope. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's nothing perfectly light and bright about any family. There's always a little darkness here or there that's dramatic, and it's also leads to comedy as well. There's warts and all kinds of things in families, and we uncover a few here.
You certainly do.
Yeah.
And your character Judd had a bad year.
He's very warty. Yeah, a lot of warts on Judd this year. Yeah, he walks in on his wife with his boss. His dad's just died. He's got a real gingy beard going right now. It's not a great 12 months.
You know, there's an old saying, you can't go home.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, these characters did go home, and it works for them. Would you agree?
It does. It almost reminds me of the feeling, I don't know if you guys have ever been to therapy, but when you go to therapy and you have that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to go to that. That's going to be really unpleasant, and then it come out and you're kind of feel like much more at peace.
It always feels better. It's like going to church.
Or church.
Yeah.
Judd Altman. What's it been, 7, 8, 9 years? What happened to Quinn? You guys didn't split up, did you?
She slept with my boss.
Well, that'll do it.
Yes, it did.
Done.
Right.
When the family arrives at their childhood home for their father's funeral, they're presided over by their devoted but proudly unconventional mother, Hillary, a child psychologist and author, played by Jane Fonda. As I was just saying, you and I go back so many years. It's just so good to see you again. And
thank you, Jim.
You're really at the top of your game right now with this performance of Hillary.
Well, thank you.
I
love the movie.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. I felt I could relate to a lot of these characters, and I think that's in general with audiences will feel the same way. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's the strength of the movie is that it's very relatable. I remember when I saw it in Toronto, somebody came out of the theater next to me and said, I'm going to go call my sister now. This movie makes me want to touch base with family. You know, I mean, we all have dysfunction in our family to one degree or another, and this movie shows the dysfunction in a very funny way, but it also shows healing.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was heartfelt, moving, even though it's somewhat of a dark comedy. It just touches your heart.
Yeah, it does. I know. I mean, Tina sure can make me laugh. I didn't know she could make me cry until this film, but she does.
You have so many wonderful scenes with both Tina and with Jason. Every time I'm thinking about them right now, I'm starting to laugh, you know, and yes. You must have enjoyed that experience working with them.
It was a great experience and a great learning experience. I mean, this is a new generation of comedians, unlike the ones that I used to work with, and their ability to improv, the rapidity of their minds is just absolutely extraordinary.
Your character, Hillary, the mom, of course, she could push the buttons of the boys and her daughter, agreed? She knew how to get to them.
I identify with that. She's what you call an oversharer, you know, too much information, TMI. She just As she says at one point, you know, secrets are poison to a family, so she just kind of lets it all out. We made love on our first date.
Mom.
I don't mind telling you, the man was hung.
That should have been the headstone.
Clearly she lost more than a husband.
Starting over is complicated, and you don't do complicated, Judd. You never have.
Anything can happen. Anything happens all the time.
Well, the somewhat dark comedy, This Is Where I Leave You, is based on the best-selling novel by Jonathan Tropper. The film, directed by Sean Levy, features an outstanding ensemble cast, which is essential in an adult comedy like this. I thought the screenplay was brilliant, and it's easy to relate to some of these characters. Regarding this review, This Is Where I Leave You. It's rated R, my grade a B.
Oh, there we go. There.
Turn it off.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Stick a baby in there, Paul. Shove a baby up there.
It's a circle of life, everybody. Let's go, Altman.
And also opening today in Tucson, the sci-fi mystery The Maze Runner, the horror film Tusk, and A Walk Among the Tombstones, a crime mystery starring Liam Neeson. And I'm going to see you right here next Tuesday on The Morning Blend.